Check, check. But do you kind of feel like you're turning that corner at the halfway part of the season, or is your team as a coach where you guys want to be, or do you still have a distance to travel?
Well, you're always looking for something to get better at every single night, every single game. But I really like where my team is at as far as keeping composure. We've seen just about everything now between, presses and man and zone, and now it's just roll the ball out there, do what we do, and try to neutralize the other team's strengths and stuff like that. So just kind of roll with the punches at this point in the season.
Right. We'll talk with Coach Stover about this point, but I wanted to ask you as well. So this non-conference, non-region game, it's a game where both teams can learn some things about themselves and maybe improve on a few things. In that regard, what's your guys' goal with this game tonight, and what are you trying to accomplish as a team?
Big thing for us is the pace of game. We want to have the game played at our pace. When it's not, we struggle, and especially when we play teams with size like tonight. So we're going to try to make things a little bit more up-tempo if we can, as long as we're taking care of the basketball. I have a lot of seniors that are on this team that play a lot of minutes, a lot of high IQ type of basketball players, which has been a good big blessing for us this year. So that's going to be a key for us, to just play smart basketball and box out like crazy, because some of our guys are going to be looking up 5-6 inches to the guys that they're guarding.
Lastly, Great Plains Lutheran, for me, I'm new to this state, and maybe for some people who don't know much about your program in your school, what type of basketball program do you have all the way down, and what are your goals going forward?
Well, we have 23 guys playing basketball this year in the high school. We're a dorm school, so we get kids from all over the state, even western Minnesota. So some kids come as far as Rapid City. We have some students that came from Alaska actually this year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and then of course internationals as well. So it's always a smorgasbord of where they come from and what kind of basketball they have had in the past. So it's really an interesting mesh of players.
For you, what's the biggest challenge, and how do you get everything to be cohesive as far as a group of guys are concerned?
Patience.
Okay.
It takes a lot of time, especially for the young guys, to learn. And the nice thing about this team, those seniors that I mentioned before, is they have meshed, they've gelled, and they work together. And that's the goal by the time that you get to the varsity level, is that they can do that. And that's the nice thing about this team.
Right. And, of course, our high school kids as well, so you throw that in there.
And you never know if they're going to make shots or if they're going to make good plays or not. That's the beauty of high school basketball.
Excellent. Well, Coach, thanks for your time. Best of luck today and throughout the rest of the year.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
That is the head coach of the Great Plains Lutheran Panthers. His name is Mike Haugley. He's been our guest in the Classic Hits pregame show. We'll talk with the Pheasants' Lonnie Stover next on Classic Hits, KQKD.
We'll go 2 minutes again. Okay. Okay. Oh, so did you say Central was leading? What was the score again? I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
Continuing on in the Classic Hits pregame show, Lonnie Stover joins us from Watertown and the home of the Panthers in Great Plains Lutheran High School. The Pheasants are coming off a loss on Saturday at the Pheasant Shootout. And Coach, first of all, you guys have had a little time to process and a little time to make some changes and that kind of thing. As this season continues to progress, there's going to be changes made week in and week out. So I guess, first of all, give us your synopsis of that game and what you guys have focused on since then.
Well, we got to move on from that. I thought we played 20 minutes of really good basketball, and then the last 12 minutes we stopped guarding and stopped executing. And, anytime you give up 42 points in a half, which we did the second half, you're not going to win. I don't care who you play. And we got in some foul trouble, and maybe we should have went zone to try and protect our guys. But bottom line is we just didn't get it done, and now we got to move forward and play Great Plains Lutheran tonight.
The other thing that I wanted to ask you about was it just seems like at this point, it's not so much, and I don't really think it's an effort situation. I think what it is for whatever reason, you just can't put two halves together, or you haven't been able to in consecutive games this year, and they're high school kids. So I guess as a coach, as long as you've been doing this, how do you try to get that out of these guys?
It's kind of frustrating. It really is. I mean, we've got some talent. We'll play real well in stretches, and then we just kind of disappear, and both as a team and then sometimes as individuals. And it's just got to fight through it. We talk to the kids all the time about fighting through the tough times, and you can't give in just because you're not playing well. You can do something well at the defensive end if you're not getting it done at the offensive end. And early in the year, maybe we could say some of us inexperienced, but you can't say that anymore. Our kids have played plenty of basketball in the last year and over the summer and 10 games into it now. So, the bottom line is we just got to be better. And I think a lot of it's mental, is maybe more so than physically right now.
Now, moving forward, your toughest part of your schedule is arguably ahead of you. This game tonight, not a region game, not a conference game, but a game where you guys can continue to work on some of the things that you need to clean up as you get into those tough parts of your schedule. So with that being said, what's kind of the focus and what are your expectations of your guys tonight?
Well, we did very little scout on these guys, and that was on purpose. As coaches, we've seen them play 3 times, but we really didn't talk to the kids a whole lot about it. We talked more about doing what we need to get done, which is guard people, execute offensively. We put a little wrinkle in offensively, something we've been running for the last 10 years probably here at Redfield, and we haven't really run it this year, so we're going to run a little shuffle offense tonight and see how that looks. And, moving forward, like I was just talking, it's got to be a consistent effort, 32 minutes. When you play good teams, you cannot have possessions off, and we've been doing that. And, keep fighting. I told you at the beginning of the year I like this team, and I still do, and I think we could do some good things, but we've got to get better here now, game in and game out.
Coach, best of luck in this one. We'll talk to you after, and have fun tonight.
All right, thank you.
Coach Lonnie Stover has been our guest in the Classic Hits pregame show. When we return, we'll get you starting lineups and get ready for the tip of this boys basketball game tonight between the Redfield-Doland Pheasants and the Great Plains Lutheran Panthers on your home for the Pheasants. Classic Hits, KQKD.
Let's go just 90 seconds here, Scott. Perfect. If you want to throw one in, you can. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll cue you into one, maybe. And welcome back to the gym at Great Plains Lutheran High School. Zach Swanson along with Scott Sundberg in the KQKD studios. Let's get you now to the starting lineups, beginning first with the home team, which will be the Great Plains Lutheran Panthers. They have a record of 4-4 on the season. Here on their home floor, they are 2-2. Head coach is Mike Haugley. The assistants is Luke Rodewald and Aaron Schlusner. Starters for the Panthers this evening will be a 5'11 senior guard, Aiden Holeen, a 5'10 senior guard, Jordan Genstead, 5'8 senior guard, Nick Hansen, 5'10 junior forward, Charlie Beck, and Tristan Charlemagne will be starting for the Great Plains Lutheran Panthers tonight. Now on to your Redfield-Doland Pheasants, a 5-4 mark on the season. On the road, they have a record of 2-2 this season. They're coached by Lonnie Stover, Lance Howe, and Wes Frankenstein. Starters for your Pheasants tonight, 5'9 junior guard Zach Jordan, 6'1 junior forward Micaiah Utek, 6' senior guard Dalton Howe, a 6'2 senior guard Drew Roselle, a 6'6 sophomore center Max Balloon, and those are your starting 5 for Redfield-Doland. We will take a 2-minute timeout. When we return, we'll get you set up for the opening tap from Great Plains Lutheran in Watertown. And on your home for Pheasant Sports, 1380 KQKD.
We invite you to remain standing, face the American flag, remove your caps, place your hand over your heart, and give respect to the flag as the Great Plains Lutheran High School Band plays our national anthem.
Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to Great Plains High School, Great Plains Lutheran High School, in the town of Watertown. We're getting ready for the opening tap tonight on Classic Hits KQKD, and we're also streaming live on the Great Plains Lutheran School YouTube page. And I want to thank their producers and camera operators for helping us get set up tonight, being very hospitable. Nathan and Austin doing a great job here this evening. We should be in for a very good basketball game tonight, as Great Plains Lutheran, as we heard from their head coach Mike Haugley, are kind of looking for a turnaround at this point in the season. At halfway, they are 500 in just about every way you can cut it. As far as Redfield-Doland, you heard from head coach Lonnie Stover. They've done very little this week in reference to preparation. What they have done is institute an offense that they've been running there for a number of years. They just haven't run it recently, and that would be that shuffle offense. So we'll see how that changes things for Redfield-Doland tonight. By the numbers coming into this game, the Great Plains Lutheran Panthers are shooting 40% from the field. 45 would be the Pheasants of Redfield-Doland. From beyond the arc, Redfield-Doland with the edge there, a 42% three-point percentage, 27. Change that around. Redfield-Doland a 42% chance from outside, 27 for Great Plains Lutheran. And at the line, 64% from the charity stripe for the Panthers, It'll be 59% for Redfield-Doland. To get things started, your Pheasants will be from left to right. Across your radio dial and internet screen, they'll be wearing their blue jerseys, white numbers trimmed in black. It'll be the home Great Plains Lutheran Panthers from right to left in their white jerseys with navy blue numbers. We are underway, and it'll be the Pheasants to take the opening tap. They'll set up their offense on the left side of the floor. Top of the key with it now is Max Balloon. He'll give to the left side, and in the corner is Dalton Howe. Howe gets some pressure defensively. Loose ball underneath, stolen away from Max Balloon, and going down to the floor to pick it up and hold on for the whistle will be Charlie Beck. Charlie Beck holding on for that jump ball, and it'll be taken now by Great Plains Lutheran. They'll move it from right to left in this first quarter. Moving it to the left side now. It'll continue for the Panthers. They'll take it inside, and I'll move it to the right wing. Into the corner with it is Jordan Genstead. Genstead will give it up top to Nick Hansen. Hansen off the high screen will go to the corner. Shot clock under 10 seconds. And now the ball rolls to the near side and out of bounds. So a missed pass by Great Plains Lutheran. One thing they do well is they don't turn the ball over very often. Great Plains Lutheran averaging about 9 turnovers per game. Meanwhile, Redfield-Doland an average of 16 per game this season. It'll be Zach Jordan bringing the ball across the timeline. He will swing it to the right side and get it out again up top. Jordan will go to his right for Dalton Howe. And that high-low offense starting for Redfield-Doland, that shuffle offense is what Coach Stover is calling it. In the lane, putting up the jumper but missing is going to be Max Balloon. Got a whistle underneath the basket on the rebound. We have our first foul of the evening.
Basket's good. Fouls on White. Panther, number 20,
Tristan Charlemagne, his first personal, his team's first foul, and it'll be at the line for Micaiah Utek. Utek puts up his first free throw, and this one rattles out. Utek, typically a 44% free throw shooter, misses that one. 6:36 and counting. It's a 2-0 lead for Redfield-Doland over the Great Plains Lutheran Panthers. The right wing pulling up in the lane is Genstead. Jordan will give it off up top. Trying to work his way across the defense on the perimeter was Tristan Charlemagne. Couldn't get through. Now gives it inside. The good scoop and score on the slice down the lane for Genstead. And we're tied up at 2-2. Redfield-Doland to the front court. Again, left to right across the Panther logo at center court. It'll be Jordan over his head to his right. He will give off for Dalton Howe. Howe again up top for Drew Roselle. Tipped around to the far corner for Utek, who kicks it back out to Jordan. Ball fake. Drives towards the basket. The finger roll. That one short. Utek with the pickup and the finish. Utek with the rebound and deuce. And Utek, his first bucket of the game, he averages just under 13 points per game, and he's on the board now. It's 4-2 Redfield-Doland over Great Plains Lutheran. Good take from the top. And a good scoop with the right hand by Aiden Holeen as he just drove from the left wing to the right side of the lane and all the way to the hoop for a deuce. Redfield-Doland again in the front courts. Pheasants all the way to the right corner for Utek. Utek looking up top, nowhere to go. He'll give it to Roselle. Almost a steal off of Jordan, who loses the dribble. Nick Hansen about stole it away, and here's a fire from downtown for Roselle. That one doesn't fall. Utek tries to go to the right block on the weak side. That one tipped away from Balloon. He'll get it back again and deal it back up top. Pheasants will set up the offense once again. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Game tied at 4. Into the left corner, Roselle pulls up for the floater from 15 feet. And Roselle, with his first bucket of the game, averages just under 5 points a game. Does the 6'2 senior for the Pheasants. 4:40 and counting in the opening quarter. Right elbow extended for Charlemagne. Charlemagne puts up the J. That one does not fall. And now in transition, here comes Micaiah Utek from left to right quickly, and he'll lay it in with the right hand for a quick 2. 8-4 now the lead for the Pheasants over the Panthers. To the front court, here's Jordan Genstead. He'll walk it across the timeline. Create a moving screen on the near side. The dribble drive to the baseline, pulling up for the jumper, getting fouled on the way is Aiden Holeen. And then on the foul for Redfield-Doland will be Zach Jordan, his first personal and the first team foul for the Pheasants. At the line will be Holeen. First free throw is up and good. Aiden Holeen, a better than 72% free throw shooter on the season, is now into the game. Will be 6-foot sophomore Ryan Mertz. Again at the line, Holeen. Eyes up the shot from the charity stripe. And nothing but nylon. So Holeen goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line. He has 4 points. And it's an 8-6 lead for Redfield-Doland over Great Plains Lutheran. We've got about 4 minutes left to go in the opening quarter. Lob towards the right block underneath for Balloon. He'll pick it up, try to go up strong. This one off the front of the rim. Balloon gets his own rebound and goes back to finish right down the center of the lane. We've got a timeout on the floor now after that basket. Score is 10-6. Redfield-Doland over Great Plains Lutheran. We will take a 30-second timeout on your home for the Pheasants, 1380 KQKD. As we join the action once again, it is Micaiah Utek driving to the basket, laying in on the left hand to give the Pheasants a 12-6 lead with 3:33 left in the first quarter. And Utek gets fouled on the way. He'll hit as Aiden Holeen picks up his first foul of the game. As Utek, now 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He has 7 points in the game. It's a 13-6 lead for Redfield-Doland over Great Plains Lutheran. Onto the right side and up top. Here's Aiden Holeen. Holeen tries to shake towards the right elbow, loses the dribble, but he gets help from behind. The pass underneath from Charlemagne to Ryan Mertz underneath the basket goes without falling, but Mertz does draw the foul on the play. And in on the foul is going to be Max Balloon. First personal is team's second foul. Second shot, or rather front end on the way for Charlemagne. And he will hit that one. Tristan Charlemagne, 74% free throw shooter, the best from the line on the team, and this one comes up short. So a short free throw for Charlemagne on that play. And it'll be Redfield-Doland from the inbounds pass, leading 13-7. About 3 minutes left to go in the opening quarter from the home of the Great Plains Lutheran Panthers in Watertown. Top of the key off a high screen. Be a pass to the right side for Zach Jordan, who rolls one in for 3. Zach Jordan, his 34th three-pointer of the season. Rather, 34th taken, 6th made. And it's 16-7, Redfield-Doland over GPL. On the outside, here's Jenstead with a long 2. That one rolls across the rim. That'll be the Pheasants picking it up. Kick out to the right side. Into the lane and across the lane is Utek. Back up top for Jordan. Jordan down the lane to the left side. The pass right to Utek on the left block. And he will finish with his 9th point of the first quarter. 2:23 and counting, 18-7. Redfield-Doland over Great Plains Lutheran as the Panthers are in the front court to our left. Little ball fake, good spin move to the right side. Unable to get it to fall was Charlemagne at the right block. And back the other direction comes Redfield-Doland. One hand pass, no look to the left corner. That was for Dalton Howe. This one will not make it as Utek comes in contact with Ryan Remley, the 5'9 senior underneath. And that'll be a foul on Utek, his first personal, and that'll be the 3rd team foul on Redfield-Doland. Great Plains Lutheran will fight through the one-man trap applied by Dalton Howe at the half court. And on to the right side is Jordan Jenstead. Jenstead shuffles his way to the right corner, picks up the dribble, will get it up top to Charlemagne. On the floor again, here's Nick Hansen. Hansen to the right side, 3-ball on the way. This one rattles out for Charlemagne, and a good long rebound snagged by the Panthers. Genstead across the floor, now inside, back to the free throw line, trying to drive to the lane through the trees is Charlemagne, and he had it hit off the heel, just couldn't get it to fall. Into the left corner, Colton Hyder, who just checked in for Redfield-Doland. Now a collision underneath between Max Balloon and underneath the basket. Ryan Remley just could not get his feet set. And Remley fighting against a much taller player. That's Remley at 5'9" and Roselle at 6'2", and we heard from Coach before the game, and Coach Haugley said they were going to have to use their speed against Redfield-Doland tonight. They've done so on a number of occasions, but just haven't been able to get the friendly roll at this point as they trail by 11, 18-7. Now Tristan Charlemagne with his second personal underneath the basket. That'll be the 4th team foul on the Panthers of Great Plains Lutheran, and checking in for Redfield-Doland for the first time tonight. Now the inbounds pass coming. Pardon me, got distracted, something on my sheet here. But checking in for Redfield-Doland now is Bennett Osborne. He's in for the first time this afternoon, or rather this evening. Onto the right side with it is Jordan Genstead. Genstead looking up top, has nowhere to go. We're under a minute to go in the opening quarter. Shot clock under 15 for the Panthers. Down the baseline, missing is Remley on the strong take. Now back out through center court. Here's Zach Jordan. He'll go to the left corner for Hyder. Hyder strong from left to right down the baseline. Ball left on the baseline, keeping it live is Genstead, but right into the hand of a Pheasant player. Back up top for Zach Jordan. Jordan will lob it to the top of the key for Balloon. Jordan off the screen, goes to the basket, and a nifty reverse will fall in for him. And the foul on the floor will be against Zach Jordan offensively. So Jordan's second personal. Nifty little take there as he went straight at the basket and kind of reversed it to the left side with the right hand, but got too much contact to the defender who was set up underneath the rim. It'll be Great Plains Lutheran bringing the ball up from right to left across the timeline, trailing by 11 with 24 seconds left in the first quarter. To the right wing is Genstead. He'll give it up top for Mertz. Mertz will give it again to Remley. And now a handoff again to the right side for Beck. Beck goes to the baseline. And this ball is deflected out of bounds, last touched by Redfield-Doland. 12.5 seconds left in this first quarter. The inbounds pass coming from Hansen. Up top on the right side to Genstead. Genstead drives to the free throw line and in. Lost the dribble, tipped away by Utek. Utek starts to push. He's got Howe on the right. He squeezes it to him through the lane. Back out with no time on the clock to 3. And this one will fall short for Max Balloon. We are through one quarter of play. Score 18-7, Redfield-Doland over Great Plains Lutheran. Second quarter coming up in 60 seconds on Classic Hits KQKD. Okay. Welcome back to Watertown and Great Plains Lutheran High School. Zach Swanson with you tonight. Also Nathan and Austin on the camera. Again, big thanks to them from Great Plains Lutheran High School helping us with video tonight on KQKD. In the meantime, the Pheasants with an 18-7 lead as we begin the second quarter of play. Pheasants will start in the front court to our right. Great Plains Lutheran will move from right to left. It'll be Dalton Howe in the corner, kicks it out to Utek to the right elbow. He'll go back out for Colton Hyder for 3. This one rattles out. And a long rebound is grabbed by the Panthers, and now we've got a blocking foul underneath. Is going strong to the hoop, coast to coast, is Charlie Beck, the 5'10 junior. He's turned on the afterburners, picked up that long rebound and rushed all the way to the basket. And it'll be Colton Hyder's first personal and the 5th team foul on Redfield-Doland. First free throw rattles around, almost falls in for Mr. Beck, but does not. Charlie Beck this season, 45% free throw shooter, the 5'10 junior forward, and as fearless physically as he just showed off there. This free throw is short off the front of the rim. It'll be grabbed by Bennett Osborne. He'll give to his left for UTEC. Farther to the left side of the baseline as Hyder, his jumper misses. And the putback, Dalton Howe will put it in for his first field goal of the game. It's 20-7, Redfield-Doland over Great Plains Lutheran. 3 ball on the right side. Splashes down for Nick Hansen, the top 3-point shooter for this Panthers basketball team. Getting his first of the game. Here's a interior pass. It's tipped away back out to Bennett Osborne, who strikes for 2. Bennett Osborne picks up his first field goal of the game. 22-10 the lead. Redfield-Doland over Great Plains Lutheran. Panthers into the front court to our left. Working off a high screen is Holeen. Holeen tries to curl it back along the right side of the lane, and he will be whistled for a foul as Aiden Holeen runs over Dalton Howe underneath the basket and will pick up the foul for the contact. Bennett Osborne will check out for Redfield-Doland. Back into the game will be Zach Jordan. And Jordan will bring the ball up through the left side of the timeline. Jordan working off a high screen from Balloon. Will dribble through his legs, go to the left elbow, and kick it to the left corner for UTEC, who is waiting. UTEC now will direct traffic with Balloon along the baseline. He'll lob it to him there, kicked it back across to the corner. Hyder with the ball fake, back out to Howe, who strikes from 3-point distance. Dalton Howe, the top 3-point shooter for Redfield-Doland, better than 43% this season. 25-10, Pheasants over the Panthers. 6 minutes left in the opening half. Pass out up high on the perimeter for Genstead, who will put it on the floor. Pull up on the right side of the lane. He'll launch it towards the basket and draw a foul on the way. So Genstead will go to the line. 55% free throw shooter on the season, and then on the foul, it's going to be on Colton Hyder, his second personal, and his team's 6th foul this evening. Free throw on the way from the right-handed shooting Genstead. That one is good. That is Genstead's first point of the game. His 3rd point of the game. He's 7.5-point scorer per game this season. Genstead's 2nd free throw is also good. So he's 2 for 2 from the charity stripe tonight. It's a 13-point difference for Redfield-Doland, 25-12. With under 6 minutes to go down the middle of the lane, here is Dalton Howe with the finger roll. And Howe with 3 buckets in this second quarter. All 7 of his points coming in the last couple minutes. 27-12, Pheasants over the Panthers. Back out up top, here's Nick Hansen. Hansen puts it on the floor. He goes to the left side for Ryan Remley. Remley again gives it up top for Jordan Genstead. Genstead to the free throw line, will back up with the dribble. He'll kick it to the right side, under 10 seconds on the free throw, or on the shot clock, and Hansen fires from long distance. This one short. Here's Dalton Howe on the rebound. He goes coast to coast. He gets rejected by the rim on the outside, and now we've got a foul going back the other way on the Pheasants. This will be their 7th team foul. And it'll be Dalton Howe as first personal. And so now all but Drew Roselle has a foul for the Pheasants as far as the starters are concerned in this first half. At the line to shoot a 1-and-1, and missing the first end was Genstead. This ball ricochets to the near side, picked up by Genstead, and now it's deflected towards the baseline underneath the basket. Last touch by Redfield-Doland. Speaking of the Pheasants, they will take a timeout, a 30-second break. It's 27-12 Pheasants over the Panthers. 5:07 left in the first half on Classic Hits, KQKD. Welcome back once again to Watertown and the home of the Great Plains Lutheran Panthers. We've got 5 minutes and change left in the first half. 27-12, the lead for Redfield-Doland over the Panthers, a 4-4 Region 1B squad. Left side, Micaiah Utek will lob it just left of the elbow. Picked up by Max Balloon, and a good spin move down the lane. The shot won't fall. He and Utek both grab the rebound. Utek gives it out to the outside, and Dalton Howe catches a little live spot in the floor on the penetration dribble and will travel and turn the ball over. Dalton Howe, being that he spends so much time on the floor and that he tends to push the envelope offensively, the highest turnover margin on the season this year, but a very aggressive player, so you're going to get that from those type of guys throughout the season. To the left side, here is Remily with it. He'll go up top for Hansen. Hansen again delivers farther to his right for Genstead. Back across to the left wing for Hansen, who fires a three. This one off the front of the rim. Rebound fought for underneath. And coming up with it will be the Panthers. Another put up off that rebound is off the mark, and rebounded once again by the Pheasants as they will bring it up the floor. It'll be Jordan to the corner for Utek. Jordan will continue it all the way to the left corner for Roselle, who gives it to Balloon. Left block extended. Balloon on the perimeter. And we've got a whistle underneath. We've got a push underneath the basket. This foul will be against the Panthers. So a defensive foul on Great Plains Lutheran. And that'll be Ryan Remley's second personal and his team's sixth foul of the first half. Lob pass taken by Balloon, kicked out to Roselle for three on the right wing, and Roselle had the perfect shot lined up, and he hits from downtown. Drew Roselle, 28% three-point shooter on the season, averages about 4.5 points per game, and that's his first bucket of the night. 30-12, the lead for the Pheasants over Great Plains Lutheran. Here's a good pick and roll, but the pass just sails over the outstretched arms of the post player on that far side of the floor. That would have been Joe Tischer, the 6'3 sophomore, who's in for the first time tonight. 30-12, again, the lead for Redfield-Doland over Great Plains Lutheran. We're under 3:30 to go in the opening half. Pheasants with the ball in the front court to our right. That'll be Jordan slinging it to the left corner. Balloon with the ball fake for three. He'll drive along the baseline, kicks it off the window for a deuce. Max Balloon, the 6'6 sophomore, with 4 points in the game. 32-12, Redfield-Doland with about 3 minutes and change to go in the opening half. Dribble to the free throw line and back out for Hansen. He will hand off to Jordan Genstead. Genstead off the screen will try to go right side of the baseline on the penetration dribble. 15 seconds left on the shot clock towards half court. Lob pass to Remily. Remily kicks it back out. On the floor is Hansen. Hansen will give it inside for Beck. Beck turns, puts it up. This one bounces around and does not fall. So back the other way come the Pheasants left to right. Cross-court pass to Jordan on the left wing. He'll give it up top for Balloon, who will fire from downtown. Max Balloon hits from three. Balloon, just his first three on the season, as I have him in the stats department, but I could have that wrong. 35-12, Redfield-Doland over Great Plains Lutheran with about 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the opening half. Baseline dribble. Smart play on that far side by Remily as he was guarded close by Jordan. Just banked the ball off his thigh, and it went out of bounds. Some substitutions all over the place. We'll see what we can do to grab them all. Jackson Frankenstein in for Redfield-Doland, a 6-foot senior. Also in for Great Plains Lutheran be Aiden Holine. He's back into the game. Also on the far side, Ryan Mertz checking back in. This will be Dalton Howe bringing it up the left side of the floor. Here's Frankenstein back out to Jordan. 2:08 left in the first half. 35-12 Pheasants. Up top, here's Dalton Howe for three. Wide open look, this one rims out. Pushing the pace are the Panthers. Driving hard to the basket. Oh, a strong connection by Remily right into the chest of Dalton Howe, and he goes down strong and hard on the floor. He's slow to get up. I think it's just a stinger. So it'll be Remily just taking it like a bull to the basket. Right into the chest of Dalton Howe, who took that charge pretty well. Dalton Howe is going to walk back. I think the officials, I did not see because there is a body in the way in my view of the basket. I think Dalton Howe, the officials, I think, are concerned that Dalton Howe hit his head, but after they check with him, I think he's all right. Also checking into the game for Redfield-Doland is Leighton Rolfs for the first time tonight, a 5'10 sophomore. And I think now Coach Lonnie Stover wants to get Dalton Howe out of the game just to be safe, and it'll be Colton Hyder coming in. So late substitution for the Pheasants as Dalton will come out after the collision. Press now applied by Great Plains Lutheran. Redfield-Doland leading 35-12 with just under 2 minutes to go in the half. To the left wing, here's Hyder. To Frankenstein, to Rolfs, and now to Roselle in the right corner. Now we've got a little bit of push on the post as Ryan Martz is going to be tallied up for a foul as he was trying to work against the postman Jackson Frankenstein.
Fouls on number 3, Ryan Mertz. First personal.
Ryan Mertz's first personal. It's the 8th team foul on Great Plains Lutheran. And Dalton Howe will come back into the game for Colton Hyder, so they check him out. It looks like he's all right. So Jackson Frankenstein at the line. Jackson's first chance from the free throw line this season falls away. And it's 35-12. Great Plains Lutheran trailing. Redfield-Doland to the left corner. Ball fake for Hansen. He'll fake towards the baseline. And now slide it off into the hands of Charlemagne. Charlemagne goes strong to the basket, gives off. And Ryan Mertz will finish from the right side for his first field goal. 35-14, a minute 20 left in the first half. Redfield-Doland leading Great Plains Lutheran. Overhead pass to Roselle, wide open for three from the left side. This one across the rim, a rebound missed by UTEC. And here come the Panthers from right to left. Putting on the brakes is Aiden Holine as he crosses the timeline. He'll give it off to Nick Hansen. Hansen, jump pass to the left corner, driving along the baseline, pull up for the shot fake. Second chance for Holine, too strong. Rebounded by Leighton Rolfs. 50 seconds to go in the opening half, 35-14, Redfield-Doland over Great Plains Lutheran. It'll be Howe to the right side for Rolfs. High ball screen for UTEC, dribbles behind the back. He will give up top again for Roselle. Pheasants looking for a good shot. UTEC's got one from downtown on the right side. This one too short. UTEC, his lone field goal opportunity of the half. Now here's coast to coast, just getting stuffed by the rim on the near side was Tristan Charlemagne. We got a collision on the left side coming up the floor. I think Coach Stover got a little piece of that action as well. We're down to the last 15 seconds in the half, 35-14, the lead for Redfield-Doland. It'll be Dalton Howe just inside the timeline. Down to 5 seconds. Howe will go to his left off a screen, right into a defender. Howe to the lane, goes to the right block, turning his UTEC off the window. This one will not fall, and that will bring us to the end of the opening half of play. So through one half of play, the score 35-14, Redfield-Doland leading the home team Great Plains Lutheran. We will take a 2-minute and 30-second timeout. When we return, some stats from the opening half and maybe some scores from around the area from the KQKD studios. That's coming up again in 2 minutes and 30 seconds on Classic Hits KQKD.
Get those ready.
You might have to use them. I got stats and stuff to do. Thanks, man. 34-40. What was the score again? What did you say the score was again? I'm sorry. Okay. Welcome back to Great Plains Lutheran High School, the home of the Panthers, where tonight it is Redfield-Doland against Great Plains Lutheran. We are at the half. The score right now is 35-14. Redfield-Doland leading the home Panthers. Zach Swanson again with you. And again, I want to thank Nathan and Austin for all of their great work on the video side of things online tonight. Thanks again to them for all of their help. Let's get to some first half stats, beginning first with the home team, Great Plains Lutheran. Now, in the first half, had a little better go of it offensively. Second half, struggled a little bit from the field. 4 of 18 shooting through one half of play for Great Plains Lutheran. Just 22% from the field. They're being led scoring-wise by Jordan Jenstead, the 5'10 senior, with 4 points in this game. In fact, that is tied with Aiden Holeen. He came into a little foul trouble at the end of the first half, so did not see a lot of time in the second. He scored all of his 4 points in that first quarter. It would be 3 points for Nick Hansen, who hit from long distance in the second quarter of play. 2 points for Ryan Mertz, who scored in the second quarter as well, and 1 point for Tristan Charlemagne, who hit a free throw very early on in the game. So those are the points for Great Plains Lutheran. Now for Redfield-Doland, having a bit better time from the field, shooting 56%. 14-25. Again, these stats are fairly rudimentary by yours truly, but relatively close, I'd say. Zach Jordan with 3 points in that first half of play. He would be trailing the team leader, Micaiah Utek, who has 9 points. All 9 of those came in the first quarter. He would be followed by Max Balloon, who has 7, 5 of those in that second quarter. Also Dalton Howe, who went off for 7 points all in the second quarter. 5 for Drew Roselle. And also on the score sheet tonight is Bennett Osborne, the 5'9 junior, picked up his first field goal of the night in the second quarter as well. So that's the shooting for both of these teams. And again, Redfield-Doland has just had the better luck and better opportunities for things to fall for them here in this first half. For Great Plains Lutheran, they've really been gritty going to the basket. And as we heard from Coach Mike Haugley in the pregame show, he had mentioned that their team doesn't necessarily have a lot of size on the roster, so they have to do things with speed and they have to get to the basket as many times as they can. Now, they've gotten to the basket tonight. They just haven't been able to get anything to fall. If I can think back, I think of all the times already for the Panthers, I've mentioned how many shots have hit iron and rolled off or rattled in and out of the cylinder. They just haven't been able to get anything to fall, so we'll see if they can get some more to fall in their home court as we get into the second half. But as we mentioned, at the end of the first half of play, the score is 35-14. We will take another 2-minute and 30-second timeout. When we return, we'll get you some scores from around the area. Again, 35-14, Pheasants over the Panthers at halftime in Watertown at Great Plains Lutheran High School on Classic Hits KQKD. Okay. Welcome back to the gym at Great Plains Lutheran High School in Watertown. We are completing our halftime show where, again, Redfield-Doland leading Great Plains Lutheran by the score of 35-14. Couple of score updates from around the KQKD area tonight. Some big basketball games on the girls' side. A big basketball game between Aberdeen Central and Harrisburg. At last check, Aberdeen Central with a 34-30 lead in the third quarter over Harrisburg. That game, of course, in Harrisburg. As far as on the boys basketball side of things, Warner, at last check at halftime, was leading 28-17 over Northwestern in that Lake Region Conference matchup. That game on sunny 97-7. Some things also coming up on the schedule the rest of this week in high school hoops for around the Redfield-Doland / Aberdeen area. Doubleheader of basketball. Falkton and Ipswich going to be on sunny 97-7 at 6:30 and 8 on Thursday. Also, Aberdeen Roncalli's boys are at Groton. That'll be on Thursday. And then we've got a very busy weekend, including a Friday doubleheader with Redfield-Doland as they welcome in Sisseton, 6:30 and 8 p.m. That game will be right here on Classic Hits KQKD, so be sure to tune in for those games. Should be very good games, a conference and region matchup for the Pheasants. We're about a minute away from the start of the second half, and as I mentioned, what Great Plains Lutheran just needs is they just need more shots to fall. They had a lot rattling around the rim in that first half, and for whatever reason, sometimes that's what happens. You get home, and maybe sometimes you get too comfortable with the rims, or they get too comfortable with you, and nothing seems to fall, but we'll see what they can figure out here in the second half. I do like the Panthers' aggression at the basket. Again, in not every occasion, but at some occasion, they are just outsized by the Pheasants, and they've worked hard at the basket. They just haven't been able to get them to go. As far as Redfield-Doland is concerned, whatever they're doing offensively has been working tonight. They've been moving the ball as they typically do, a team that averages 14 assists per game, almost 15. They've also been dealing the ball around to teammates and making things happen, so we'll see what Redfield-Doland does in this second half. They'll get a steal to get things started. Now on the right side of the floor, Dalton Howe, I think, found another live spot as that dribble got a bit out of his hands. Redfield-Doland from right to left across your radio dial. In the second half, it'll be Great Plains Lutheran from left to right. So right now the Pheasants with the ball in the front court. It'll be Zach Jordan with the lob to the left corner. Down the baseline, here's Dalton Howe. He'll take it up and be stuffed by the rim. Back the other way, here come the Panthers. They have numbers for the meantime. That will change quickly. Shuffling through the lane, try to put it up with the right hand, and drawing a foul is Jordan Jenstead. Good first take by the Panthers as they draw the foul. It'll be Dalton Howe, his second personal and his team's first foul of the second half. 7:40 left on the clock. The free throw hard off the heel for Jordan Klenstead, who is now 2 of 4 from the, or Jenstead, excuse me, who is 2 of 4 from the free throw line in this game. Second chance on the way. This one's good. So Jenstead now with 5 points in the game. That leads his team 35-15. A 20-point lead for Redfield-Doland with 7:30 and counting in the third quarter. Pass up top for Roselle. Drew will give off to his left for Jordan. Balloon tries to force his way inside. A good D by Charlemagne. And now a three from the right side is struck. Dalton Howe from long range. His second three of the night. He now has 10 points. First player to double figures in this game. 38-15 is the lead with about 7 minutes left for Redfield-Doland. To the right side, strong take to the basket. This one just a bit too strong for Holine. Rebounded underneath by Charlie Beck. We'll go back out, trying to turn and drive down the lane with Charlemagne. Gets turned away, but finds a way towards the right block. Charlemagne puts it up with the right hand and finishes. He now has 3 points in the game, and back quickly in transition is Redfield-Doland. Micaiah Utek and Drew Roselle not on the same page along the baseline. This pass too high for Roselle as he came from the near to the far side and just caught his fingers as it went out of bounds. That'll give the Panthers a free take. And now down the floor from left to right is Holine. Holine will sling it to his right. There with it is Charlemagne. Charlemagne to the baseline, kicks it left. Dribble drive in the middle of the lane, the put up, the floater. That one I think just got out of the hand of Jordan Jenstead a little bit. He was going up for the one-handed put up. And I think that one just lost the handle on it a bit. To the left side, here's Dalton Howe for three. This one off the rim. It'll be Roselle with the rebound. He'll fade away with the jumper. This one misses as well. And now a third chance for Balloon doesn't fall either. So they're shooting a beach ball right now, it seems. Nobody can get it in. 6:10 and counting, 38-17. Redfield-Doland's lead over Great Plains Lutheran with roughly 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Lob pass to the right elbow extended. Here's a block on the shot attempted by Charlemagne, and pushing the pace as UTEC gets around a defender. And Micaiah UTEC with his first field goal of the third quarter. 40-17 Redfield-Doland with 5:45 to go in the third. Into the left corner, working on Dalton Howe is Jordan Genstead. Back out for a long three-pointer from NBA range. That was Nick Jansen. Phoned one in from long distance for three. That's his second. He now has 6 points tonight. 5:20 and counting. To the baseline, kick to the far corner. That'll be Roselle inside the balloon. Rebound taken by Beck. And now we've got a foul on the play underneath the basket. Or pardon me, deflected out of bounds. Genstead tying his shoe. Now we'll get ready for the inbounds pass. To the corner for Zach Jordan. Thought about the three, but we'll keep it down. It's a 20-point difference with about 5 minutes to go, under 10 seconds on the shot clock for the Pheasants. Up top for Jordan. Jordan penetration dribble will pull up the jumper. This one just off the rim, and some good defense by Nick Hansen. Back the other direction come the Panthers. It'll be Hansen on the perimeter, gives to the right side off a screen for three. This one too strong for Charlemagne. And the rebound taken by the Pheasants. They'll push it up the floor right side. To the corner for UTEC. Fires for three off the front of the rim. And back the other way come the Panthers. Rushing towards the basket, drawing some contact on the way, was Aiden Holeen. And it's going to be a charge called on the Panthers. And for Holeen, that is third personal. His team's second foul of the half, or rather first of the half. And now a timeout called by Coach Stover and the Pheasants. They lead 40-20 with 4:31 left in the third quarter. We will take a 60-second timeout as well on Classic Hits KQKD. What was I saying? Oh, my bad. Tell her I've been up since 5 this morning. And I'm low on coffee. I don't even know. I didn't even realize I was saying it, so I appreciate it.
And our assistant coach's name is Schleusner.
What's that?
Schleusner is our assistant coach.
Schleusner? What did I say?
I'm gonna say it again. I'm just making sure you know it's Schleusner. Good luck saying it.
40-20 with 4:26 and counting in the third quarter. The lead for the Pheasants of Redfield-Doland. Three ball from the left wing. This one's good for Drew Roselle. He had that one lined up and knocked it down. Drew Roselle, very good three-point shooter for the Pheasants. He now has 2 trays on the Knights, 43-20, down to about 4 minutes in the third. Now pulling up and launching for three from the right wing and hitting is Tristan Charlemagne. Charlemagne 5 points here in the third quarter, and he is a very good free throw shooter. Not known as much from the three-point line, but from the free throw line, he's 28% from downtown. Now we got a jump ball underneath. Good gritty defense by Jordan Genstead as driving towards the basket was Max Balloon. Genstead 5'10", and Balloon 6'6", just to kind of give you a visual. It'll be Micaiah UTEC with an offensive foul on the inbounds pass. So possession will change hands into the Panthers' grips as they bring the ball left to right across the timeline. 3:45 and counting. It's a 20-point lead for Redfield-Doland. Lob pass to the left elbow, excuse me. Back out up top goes Ryan Mertz. He'll give to Hansen. Dishes it right side. Good job by Mertz to get open on the right block on the penetration dribble by Nick Hansen. Left him wide open for the easy lay-in. 43-25, Pheasants leading the Panthers. Here's Micaiah Utek, lobs it inside, blocked away by Charlemagne, and the substitution for the Pheasants on their way in. Into the game will be Colton Hyder, the 5'11 sophomore. Inbounds pass to Balloon, and Balloon will ball fake around the defense, and Balloon will lay it in from the far side of the baseline. Max Balloon now with 9 points. Balloon averages 10 per game, so he's one away. 3 minutes and counting in the third quarter, 45-25. Redfield-Doland leading Great Plains Lutheran. Here's Hansen with the skip pass inside, back out, and a three-point attempt on the way from Remily. This one off the front of the rim. Long rebound at half court, snagged by Hansen. He'll go to the right corner, trying to go baseline as Genstead runs into the trees and comes up a bit short underneath, but does draw the blocking foul underneath the basket. That'll be Colton Hyder in his third personal foul. It'll be Redfield-Doland's third foul of the second half as a team. And to the line will go Jordan Genstead, the 5'10 senior. Jordan tonight, 5 points. Rattles one in off the rim, off the window. And Genstead now 4 of 6 from the free throw line tonight. Checking in for the Panthers will be Joe Tischer, 6'3 sophomore center. Second free throw, this one rattles around and off for Genstead, so it's 45-26 Redfield-Doland. Back to the front court, go the Pheasants. Up top with it is Aiden Holeen. Holeen to the right for Utek on the right wing. Utek gives to Hyder. Hyder with the left hand, and he will be called for the travel as he shuffled those feet before he put it on the floor. So another turnover for Redfield-Doland. Also into the game for the Panthers, I may have missed a substitution. It looks like Ryan Remley's back into the game. Aiden Holeen with the ball at half court. He'll be working against Zach Jordan. He will kick it to his left for Remley. Remley ball above his head, waiting for the high screen. He'll elect to go to the baseline. He'll give back out now for Charlemagne. Charlemagne pulls up, and a three ball from the left wing for Charlemagne. Tristan Charlemagne having a heck of a third quarter. 8 points for a total of 9 in the game. It's 45-29 Redfield-Doland with 1:50 left in the third. Here comes Jordan down the lane, and he will be closed on by Aiden Holeen. Holeen will get his next foul. That'll be his 4th personal, but a great defensive play. He had to come all the way across the lane as Jordan was sprinting, as he curled around at the top of the lane and in towards the basket to swat that one away. And Jordan now misses the front end of the free throw. Checking back into the game for the Panthers will be Nick Hansen. Again at the line is Jordan. His free throw on the way, rattles off the front of the rim, catches the window, and finds the bottom of the net. 46-29, under a minute 45 to go in the third quarter. Jordan Genstead with the ball on the perimeter. He'll give to the right for Hansen. All the way back left. And with it is Genstead. Genstead to the lane. He'll pull up. Ball fake around a defender. He'll throw it up. It'll fall, and he draws the foul as well. Good patience by Jordan Genstead. His 4th point of the third quarter. He now has 8. And it'll be on Leighton Rolfs. Rolfs' first foul for the Pheasants, as he left his feet. Just trying to get a hand on the shot. Free throw good. And the 3-point play for Jordan Genstead, the 5'10 senior. 46-32, Pheasants leading the Panthers. Ball to the left side for Rolfs. Rolfs to the left block for Utek. Back out to Leighton Rolfs. He'll throw it across the lane for Jordan through traffic. Dangerous pass. Back out for Zach Jordan now. A little bit of a zone here for Great Plains Lutheran, as now Jordan will kick it to his left on that penetration dribble. The 3 short for Dalton Howe. Back down the floor with some speed is Ryan Remily from left to right. Into the corner, trying to back his way in as Genstead does, and somehow gets this one off the window to fall. Falling away, Jordan Genstead. starting to put the team on his back a little bit here in the third quarter. And the foul is going to be on Micaiah Utek, his third personal, and Redfield's fifth foul. Back to the line for the Panthers will be Genstead, and another three-point play. So Genstead in this third quarter alone, 8 points for a total of 12 in the game. That leads his team. Score is an 11-point difference, and due to his scoring and some good defense by the Panthers, they're closing the gap. Here's a turnaround for Utek underneath the basket. Good interior pass by Dalton Howe on the left side. 48-35 Pheasants, under 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Shot clock is dark. On the right wing, here's Remily. Remily cuts to the basket hard, kicks to the left corner. That one picked up off the floor by Genstead. That pass was low, got deflected, had to pick it up from his feet, kind of screwed up his flow, and that three ball was short. Meanwhile, here's Jordan. He will cut to the basket. His shot is way short. And now here's Genstead. 1 second left. Right side pulls up at the buzzer. And the shot off the rim. Good ending to the third quarter for the Panthers. Redfield-Doland lead is 13 points, 48-35. We've got one more quarter to go. We'll be back in 60 seconds to Watertown on 1380 in Redfield, KQKD.
Miss Willems. Miss Willems. On our live stream, not on yours.
Okay. Well, I'll do it here eventually. Just starting the fourth quarter on Classic Hits KQKD and also on the YouTube live stream presented by Great Plains Lutheran, and a couple of students running that live stream for us. Again, huge thanks to them. Without their help, this wouldn't be possible. Nathan and Austin doing a great job. Meanwhile, Redfield-Doland with a baseball pass down the right side of the floor. They'll bring it to the front court. It'll be Drew Roselle going up for the floater, and it's blocked on that far side by Tristan Charlemagne. Good defense by Charlemagne for the Panthers. 48-35 is the score. Pass inside, this one off the window for Max Balloon. For Balloon, that's his first field goal of the fourth quarter. He now is in double figures with 11 points. Dribble to the right side for the hot hand. That is Jordan Genstead. He'll draw some defense. This one deflected out of bounds, by Dalton Howe. Quick shout out on the video stream to Miss Willems, who's watching tonight. Thanks again for checking in. Wanted to pass that message along. Thanks to the guys for letting me know. Here's a jump shot on the left side. That one deflected away by Max Balloon along the baseline. Is trying to drive hard down that left side of the lane with Charlemagne. And a couple of blocks to get things started in the fourth quarter. A little bit rare as far as high school basketball is concerned. Inbounds pass coming from Hansen. Unable to hold it is Genstead as he runs out the door. And a turnover on the side of the Panthers. As far as looking ahead schedule-wise for both of these teams, Great Plains Lutheran had a game last night, defeated Waverly South Shore 53-39. Got Redfield-Doland tonight. Got a couple of days off, and then on Friday, they will be taking on Iroquois. That'll be on the road. Redfield-Doland with the ball in the corner. Shot clock down to 15 seconds. Dalton Howe pulls up from about 20 feet, and he will splash one down. Dalton Howe with 12 points. And the score is 52-35 Pheasants over the Panthers with 6:27 and counting. Long pass, this one almost right into the hands of Zach Jordan, but ricocheted into the grasp of Jordan Genstead. He'll back it up. And now penetration dribble from the perimeter. He'll kick it right for Hansen. Shot for 3 with 13 left on the shot clock. This one grazed the rim, but will find its way out of bounds. We got some substitutions as Aiden Holian will check back in. Also back into the game will be the 6-foot senior Ryan Mertz. Nick Hansen in the left corner. He will give back to Holian. And top of the key, here's Genstead. He'll lob it inside, trying to turn and work against Roselle. High off the window is Mertz. This one too strong. It'll be grabbed by the Pheasants. They'll push the pace like they tend to do. This one deflected out of bounds. Good hands in the air on defense in those passing lanes for Great Plains Lutheran. And shut down that transition offense of the Pheasants. Inbounds pass to the end of Lonnie Stover and his bench on the far side of the floor as we see it here tonight. Lob pass up top. That'll be taken and given off by Howe to Roselle, then to Utek. Given again back up top to Howe. He will go right down the lane, catch the front of the rim, and roll that one in for 2. Dalton Howe extending his point total tonight. 14 on the game. Trying to find a little space, right side of the lane. Good pull up for the ball fake and a finish for Aiden Holine. Holine curled around to the right side of the lane to the outside. Pulled up, drew 2 defenders in the air, ducked around him and finished that one for the deuce. Holine typically a 10-point scorer per game tonight. Just 6 on the scoreboard. Here's a shot from 3 for Redfield-Doland. That one misses. And it'll be Great Plains Lutheran to the front court from left to right. Top of the key, Genstead thought about a 3. He'll pull it down and hand it off to Holine. Holine kicks it back out for Hansen. Hansen a little ball fake, and we'll go to the left again for Genstead. Right-handed dribble, he'll shuffle to his right, catch a high screen. He'll pull up for 3 with 16 on the shot clock. Caught the rim and the rebound by Jordan. He will push the pace down the floor. Jordan gives to the right side for Micaiah Utek, and he typically doesn't miss from that close. He now has 2 points. He has 15 in the game for Redfield-Doland. 15-37 the lead for the Pheasants. Lob pass to the right block. It's taken now onto the right side by Nick Hansen. Inside, trying to put it up high with the hook on the left hand off the window, but missing was Mertz. Rebound and the putback by Hansen. Rattled around the rim, was no good. And now some substitutions for the Panthers. Back into the game will be Charlie Beck. Also into the game, Ryan Rimley. Redfield-Doland from right to left. 4:10 left in the fourth quarter. The ball in the front court. 56-37 their lead. Here's Utek spinning into the lane, and he will be called for the travel. Too many steps without consulting with the hardwood with that dribble. Turnover for the Pheasants. Again, their lead is 56-37. Jordan Genstead will pick it up at the timeline. Will walk it across and hand it off left to Holine. Holine looking to try to drive towards the basket. He'll instead lob it. Roselle got a hand on it, but right into the hand of Genstead, who tried from the right to the left side of the baseline to reverse it. That one caught the rim and off. Here's Genstead. Strong play as he goes out of bounds. Strong on the near side, and he goes out on the floor hard as he goes kind of to the left side of the bleachers. I think there's a pad over there on the floor. I think is what he fell on. He went down really hard, and from where we're standing, it looked like he hit that pad. It'll be Max Balloon with the subsequent basket off the inbounds pass for Redfield-Doland. We're under 3:30 in the fourth. It's a 58-37 lead for the Pheasants over the Panthers. Great Plains Lutheran will put it on the floor. The crossover dribble to the lane, the pull up, the shot off balance for Holine, and that one will fall off the outside of the rim. Here comes Roselle. He'll split the D. Scoop with the right hand, and Roselle will scoop and score from the right side. It is 60-37 Pheasants over the Panthers. Now Genstead's going to go coast to coast, lose the dribble. And now a substitution for the Panthers. It'll be Nick Hansen back in. And also back into the game, Charlie Beck. Timeout on the floor. 30-second timeout called by Coach Haugley And Great Plains Lutheran, they trail Redfield-Doland with 3:02 left in the game, 60-37. We're back in 30 seconds on Classic Hits, KQKD.
What's their coach's name?
Lonnie Stover.
Hanson's Russ. It's on your screen. He used to play with them.
Seth Hansen.
See,
Welcome back to the home of the Panthers of Great Plains Lutheran in Watertown. Score is 60-37, Redfield-Doland leading the home team in Great Plains Lutheran. It'll be Zach Jordan and the Pheasants from right to left bringing the ball into the front court. It'll be handled by Micaiah Utek, and a good cut down the right side of the lane. Good little alley. I mean, it's an oop, but not the one we want to see with the flush, but Jordan did a good job of putting it in on the right side. 62-37 Pheasants. For Jordan, he now has 6 points, and a foul on the Pheasants on the right side of the floor underneath the basket. Is trying to take it strong to the rim was Aiden Holleen. That'll be the third personal foul on Zach Jordan and the 6th team foul on the Pheasants. Again to the line is Aiden Holleen, and he will strike from the free throw line. Holleen, 2 free throws at the beginning of the game, and this is the first time he's been back. Now into the game for Redfield-Doland will be Jackson Frankenstein, and the second free throw is good for Holleen. 62-39 Pheasants over the Panthers. This the 10th game of the year for Redfield-Doland. Down the baseline, here's Dalton Howe. He'll put it up, and this one short off the rim. Rebounded by the Panthers with some pace down the right side of the floor. The basket and the foul with a lot of collision underneath was Jordan Jenstead, and he's been just asking for the physicality tonight, and he's been taking it well and finishing in the process. As I mentioned in the first half, it was a little bit of a struggle for Great Plains Lutheran to get the ball to foul. They had really good takes to the basket, physical, and were getting to the rim, but just could not get things to fall. Now, it just seems like things are finally starting to bounce their way. Colton Hyder is into the game for Redfield-Doland, also Leighton Rolfs. 2:13 left in the fourth, 62-41 the score, and at the line is Jordan Jenstead. Jenstead cannot convert on the three-point play in this one, as this one off the rim and to the right. Comes Dalton Howe. He'll kick it to the right for Hyder, and then gives it up top for Balloon. Cycled all the way around to Frankenstein on the left block. He'll lose the dribble. Good defense underneath. Hyder kicks it back out to Rolfs. He will fire a long-range three off the front of the rim. Long rebound grabbed in front of the Pheasant bench by Balloon. Shot clock to 30. Jumper from the left side for Frankenstein. Jackson Frankenstein hits. Just a 50% shooter on the season. Mostly a defensive sub for Coach Stover, and now getting to the baseline first and finishing with the right hand on the left side is Charlie Beck on a good lead pass from the perimeter. And to the line will go to Charlie Beck, and for Frankenstein, that'll be his first personal. Bennett Osborne checking in now for Redfield-Doland. Furthermore, Isaac Suker, a 5'7 freshman, will come into the game. And we were talking about the Panthers schedule coming up. They will take on Iroquois on Friday at 4 p.m. on the road. That starts a 3-game road trip for them. Beck misses the free throw, and Sucor goes to the right side for Bennett Osborne. Osborne skips it to the right block. That one got away from Frankenstein and out of bounds. 1:25 left in the game. As far as Redfield-Doland is concerned, they're starting to get into the teeth of their schedule. They've got Sisseton in Redfield on Friday. That'll be part of a girls-boys doubleheader here on KQKD. Also Britton Hecla. And then they travel down to Madison for the conference clash next Saturday. So some tough games on the way for the Pheasants. On the perimeter, here's Jenstead. He will kick it to his left side. Ball fake for Michael Sell, who is just into the game. Sell will lose the dribble. Loose ball to the near side, tracked down by Frankenstein, then he will give it right back to Sell. Sell loses it behind his back. Taken and dished to the far side by Joe Tischer. And Jordan Genstead hits from downtown. Genstead has been on fire here in the second half as we're under a minute to go. 64-46 Pheasants. Bennett Osborne on the perimeter right wing. Got a whistle and a substitution is checking in for Redfield-Doland for the first time tonight. Will be their 6'1 sophomore, Taryn Whipf. Bennett Osborne will inbound from in front of the Pheasant bench. Up top for Leighton Rolfs off the screen. He'll shoot the three. This one rims off. It'll be taken by Genstead. He'll push the pace to the right wing corner. Guarded by Osborne, lobbed inside. Trying to put it up was Tischer. That one off the outside of the glass, and then we've got a wrestling match for the ball on the floor. It's going to be Pheasant ball as they have the possession arrow, 64-46. Again, our next broadcast of Redfield-Doland basketball will be on Friday as they host Sisseton in Redfield again for that girls-boys doubleheader. Should be two very good games. Hope to see you there, or hope to have you listening online or on 1380 AM in Redfield. Down to the last 14 seconds of the game. Turning for the jump shot too hard off the window was Taryn Whipf. Another rebound scrambled for, picked up by Joe Tischer. Tischer will lob it to the right side and unable to finish. On that right side was Michael Sells coming flying from the backcourt and swatting the ball away on defense is Leighton Rolfs. He also got a fair amount of skin on that one. That'll be his second personal, and going to the line is Michael Sells. This is the fourth game that Michael Sells has appeared in this season. And his free throw is up off the front of the rim, no good. Gets a second chance here. Let's see if a 6'1 junior can finish on this free throw shot. Sells' second chance on the way. This one all nylon for Michael Sells. To my knowledge, for stats, his first point of the year, and that's going to run the clock out. Is shooting it from half court, just short, is Isaac Suker, and the final score will feature the Redfield-Doland Pheasants at 64. 47 will be the score for the Great Plains Lutheran Panthers. We'll come back in 2 minutes and 30 seconds for the post-game show. Maybe a quick word with Coach Lonnie Stover. That's coming up next. Again, final score 64-47 from Watertown and on Classic Hits KQKD. I do a little post-game. You guys can cut it if you want. It's up to you.
Someone commented that Britain and Redfield are both in the Northeast Conference as well as Western. I don't know if it says something about that, but maybe you did.
Oh, is this the same guy? No, yeah, at the time, Britain and Redfield were both in the Northeast Conference. When he was playing, I think he's saying. That makes sense, though. Okay, thank you. It won't be. Yeah, typically Lonnie comes up when they win, so we'll see if he swings up here. He just went to the locker room, but typically he